We go. All right, so we are back with another episode of the Diaz the Rican podcast here with my new co-host Jake Locklear. How you doing?
Doing
And
good,
we're
man. Doing good.
and we are here with UFC fighter Smiling Sam Alvey. How are you, man?
Hey, I am doing wonderful. How are you guys today?
Hey, we're doing good. This is we're excited to have you on. So
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent. No, thank you for
yeah,
inviting
dude.
me.
yeah,
This is a major step up for us to have people out here, especially in our fighting community, to see you out here. It's great. I appreciate you coming on and giving us the opportunity to talk to you a little bit.
Oh, it is my pleasure, guys.
yeah. So yeah, it's just been us like interviewing our friends and stuff. So this is cool that you agreed to do this. Um, Yeah. So I really wanted to start off like obviously you're in the UFC. You've been in there for a while, but you've also been in with a ton of different promotions. What is that like fighting for different kind of promotions?
You know, nobody compares to the UFC, but that's, UFC is a $4.5 billion company,
Yeah.
so they can afford to pamper us a little more than some of the others. But a lot of the organizations I fought for really put the fighters first. Also, the MFC was one of my favorite organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Bellator, I say Bellator. It was before Scott Coker took over. I was still with the Bjorn Rebney, and I've been told there's been a difference in the way the fighters are treated between Bjorn and Scott. So nothing terrible to say what Bellator was, but I hear it's a lot better now. And shoot, I Combat USA, King of the Cage. I really have. I've been fighting for a minute now, and I really enjoyed every organization that's put me up.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Scott Coker's a weird guy to me. He didn't want to sign Yoel Romero, and I was kind of dumbfounded by that. But I've heard he's a good guy.
Yeah, well, he ended up getting Romero, didn't he?
Yeah, they did, but apparently
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier had to call him and convince him about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he said that on one of his podcasts. I was like, dude, what? I don't know. I feel like that was a no-brainer to me, but I've heard he's a good guy. So
Romero is going to take over that division.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. I think he's gonna. Yeah, I think he's going to. He's going to go in there and wipe everyone out. He might go down as the best fighter in UFC history not to have a UFC belt.
That's a bold take right there. But
I agree. In my head, it's between him and Dan Henderson. And Dan Henderson, you might argue he did have a UFC belt because he had the Strikeforce belt.
Yeah.
While the UFC owned him, so maybe Romero's a stud. He's gonna go. I think he beats most light heavyweights, and I think he beats a lot of the middleweights too.
Yeah, he's moving up, so we'll see how that goes. He's supposed to fight Rumble Johnson, I believe. They're trying to set that up.
Ooh. All right. Well, Rumble might be the one guy I tell him to stay away from.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But we just talked about Dan Henderson. You train with Dan Henderson, don't you?
Yeah, I think I got a mark on my face. I just left practice, and that's a nice little hand up there.
That's crazy. So you fight with you train with a lot of guys, and you seem to have a pretty good program running out there.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, Dom Reyes trains out with us. Jared Vandera, he makes his UFC debut next week. Sean Strickland's one of my best friends, best training partners. Then Dan Hendo is always in there to make sure we all know who's boss.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy. We train at a small gym locally. It's called Indianland MMA. We're coming up there, but that's got to be cool training with all those guys. But
oh, it's fun. I mean, I've got 20 fights in the UFC. I've got like 70 fights total, and I'm still the small dog in the room.
Yeah, so you got a fight coming up in April 10th.
Yeah, April 10th. I'm fighting Zach Cummings. Very excited about it.
Yeah, you think you're gonna win?
I guarantee it. You guys can put your house on the line. I'm going to win.
Well, you came up as a big underdog in the last fight, right?
Like my last two fights, I was huge underdog, and I won both of them. I don't care what those God blessed judges. No, the judges are the reason I'm going back down to middleweight. I can't win a fight. I can't let it. And I think it's because judges are. I'd say they're blind, but that'd be doing a disservice to the blind. They just don't know what they're doing. It's embarrassing with those people, how they can hold the job. This last weekend, did you see the Beneil Dariush fight?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was about as one-sided a fight as you could find. I mean, the first 2 rounds were dominant at Dariush. Round 3 was probably Dariush, and one judge still found a way to give it to Ferreira. It was ridiculous. I mean, I was pissed, screaming at the screen when they announced and a split decision. It's like, you have got, that judge should never be allowed to judge. Not again. He holds people's careers in his future, and he's gonna screw it up like that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was tough. Like I remember your fight against Ryan Spann at 249. That really irked me. That
in the Ryan Spann one, I outstruck him. I was on top, stuffed every takedown. I felt I won, but it was close. I think I won. But my last one against Dao Young, I won the fight. I mean, it wasn't close, and they found a way to give me a draw. I've never been a high output fighter, but I outstruck both of those guys every round. Yeah. But I hate that saying. Don't let it go to the judges. I try not to, but the judges still have a job to do. I don't know how they can get it wrong every time it goes to them.
Yeah, that fight really bothered me. The one against Spann, but my favorite part was watching you walk out there and high five the empty arena. That was awesome. Those.
I gotta stay in the moment. There may not be fans physically there, but I know they're watching.
Yeah. How is it fighting with no fans? It's got to be weird.
You know, I've done it once before with the Ultimate Fighter. To get on the show, we all fought in Mandalay Bay. So we all fought, and I actually did the same thing there. It was just like 7 or 8 years ago, so nobody remembers it. I slapped hands and high-fived everyone, and people they loved it when I did it then. And so I said, I'm going to keep doing it, and people loved it again. So if I fight with no fans, I'm going to be slapping hands at people that aren't there.
No, that's a pretty cool experience. So the Ultimate Fighter's coming back, and I know you were on it. So how do you feel about it coming back? Sorry.
I've always liked it. I hope to have a couple buddies on it, and it's always more fun if you know the guys that are on it.
Yeah.
They've gotten away from it there's 27 seasons or 26 seasons. Like the first 2 seasons, if you remember way back then, they started they did challenges. The fighters did challenges. I remember one of them was they had to carry water, like big water packs up a skyscraper, and they had to do it 100 times or whatever it was. Yeah. And the winner of the challenge got to pick who the fight was. And I wish they go back to that, because I thought that was so much more entertaining than learning about the guys in interviews. I like seeing the guys interact with each other in a more neutral or in a more fun setting.
Yeah, and no, it's the Ultimate Fighter was my favorite show growing up. I used to watch it with my dad. It was a good time. But yeah,
Ultimate Fighter is what got me involved in UFC and like the MMA and stuff like that, because I never really listened to it or thought about doing it until I started watching that with my brother. And I was like, dude, this is kind of cool. Like, this is a fun environment to get into.
What was it? Dana White called it the Trojan horse. It was the way they got fighting on basic cable.
Yeah. No, and that was a big step for them. I know that they've got the Contender Series now, which is super cool, but it's not the same as the Ultimate Fighter. So
no, the Contender Series is nice. It's got fights and it's to the point, but you don't really get to learn much about the fighters.
Yeah, no, it's crazy when they come out with the brutal knockouts with some dude you've never heard of, but it's just part of it. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I was watching. I was looking at your Instagram the other day, and I saw you recently got your brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Congratulations! But
thank you.
Yeah, I saw the video of the dudes just taking their belts off and just whipping you with them, and I was like, I had to ask you about it because I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's a jiu-jitsu thing, and I don't know if every gym does it but there's a bunch around here that do. Is as you get promoted, you walk up and down and you get whipped by everyone. And it had been a minute since I had been whipped, and it sucks.
It looked so brutal. Like I was feeling your pain just watching the video. I was like, oh man. That is rough. But yeah. So also I was scrolling through Instagram. I saw you adopted a kid recently. That you.
Yeah. It was a long process. I've been a foster daddy for a minute now, for 2 years, close to it. And we finally got to the end of the road with her, and we got to make her an official Alvey. So it was just a wonderful day, and we've just been blessed to really make the addition to our family.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a really cool moment. I saw you had the kid from like birth essentially.
3 days old. Yep.
3 days. Yeah,
And day
that's
three
awesome.
of her life, she walked in. She was literally dropped off by a stork, and she'd been with us from the beginning. And yeah, it's a nerve-wracking process, the foster system, but it was. I'm very proud of what we did, and I'm so happy my little girl is in Alvey now.
That's awesome, man. So you have 5 kids now?
I have 5 kids now. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a very special thing too. Our family fosters kids. My uncle, he has 2 kids that he fostered. He's fully adopted them and everything like that. And it takes
nice.
a very special person to sit there and love somebody like that, So that's an amazing thing.
We've been blessed by her as much as hard as it can be. And I encourage everyone listening, your millions of followers out there, you should all look into the foster system, especially now with this COVID. It has been a devastatingly hard process for them to deal with in their situations. And they could use some loving and kind families to step up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think COVID's been hard on everybody. How is it like having a bunch of little kids through a pandemic?
Honestly, it's not changed anything for me. I have to. The gym never closed, so I was there every day, twice a day. My kids go with me there. We got my little girl enrolled in a private school, so she didn't miss any, in-person schooling. I guess that my second oldest, we're homeschooling him in kindergarten, but that's not all that hard. So yeah, it's not changed a ton for me. Fighting is probably the biggest change. Normally I take all my kids with me, but now I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of rough. But your wife still goes with you. She's in your corner, correct?
Yeah. Well, she missed the first one because we couldn't take our foster baby over state lines because of COVID. But then so that was the Ryan Span one. The second one, she got to go with me to Abu Dhabi.
That's awesome. What is the Fight Island experience like? They've hyped it up so much. I mean,
it was fun. It was pretty. It was beautiful. It was a lot of fun to get out of the country and see the United Arab Emirate. But it was. I don't know. I'd be willing to do it again. I kind of hope my fight in April is over there. But if it's not, I'm sure I'll find a way to fight on the next card that is. It really was a good time over there. Very, very pretty, and the UFC spared no expense making sure we were comfortable.
Yeah, and you guys have to like quarantine when you get there, correct? For a couple of days.
Yeah, we quarantined 2 days in Las Vegas, and then we quarantined for 2 days in the UAE.
Oh, that's gotta be tough. We live in South Carolina, so they didn't really have too tough of COVID restrictions. But I don't know. We couldn't imagine like quarantining in our rooms and stuff for that long. That's got to take a dedicated person.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I mean, we got to eat whatever we wanted. We had cable and TV. I had my Nintendo with me. So I got to read. I played my ukulele and played video games for a couple of days. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, you get a break from all the little kids around.
Yeah. It was I think we were gone for 12 or 13 days, and it was the most time my wife and I have ever gotten to spend alone together.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good for y'all. So you're moving back down to middleweight. What sparked that move? Was it purely the judges? Or?
Oh, it's purely the judges. Yeah, they won't let me win a fight at 205, and I've been the smaller opponent, but they won't let me win it. So I'll be the bigger opponent at middleweight.
Yeah.
And hopefully I get the finish. But if not, I hope the judges their head out of their ass and see who won the fight.
Yeah, the judges have really bothered me lately. It really all started with the Jones and Reyes fight. I was like, I really thought John Jones lost his title, but
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the judges' training is. I don't know. I don't know. But they garbage.
Yeah, so you did the Ultimate Fighter at welterweight. Are we gonna see you move
No,
down?
I'll never
again?
go down to welter. I mean, if the UFC wants me there, I'm always the guy that'll do whatever the UFC wants. But I really hope they don't want me there.
Yeah, see, you need to go to welterweight and fight Wonder Boy Thompson for his NMF belt. I think you fit perfectly with that one.
I'll let him come up to 85. It'll be easier for him. It'll still be a cut for me. Everyone will be happy.
Oh, that would be an awesome fight, by the way. I would should be the main event. But so you're 34 now. You've been at this for a while. You see any plans of anything changing soon, or you just keep going?
No, I'm gonna keep going. My body's all healthy. My brain's still good. I still love training. I still love doing it every day. So I'm gonna keep it going for as long as I can.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You're a fun competitor to watch, man, for real.
I appreciate that.
No problem. And your nickname fits perfectly too. You have probably the most contagious smile in all of the UFC. So
I love what I do, and I love that I get paid to do what I love. I've got no reason not to smile.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. We're really doing a short episode here, but I really just wanted to ask you, you have any like advice for up and coming fighters or competitors?
Yeah. So if you're a pro, the best advice I have is you take easy fights until they pay you to take a hard fight. Don't be the guy stepping up saying I can beat anyone, so I'm gonna go and fight the toughest. Don't do that. If you're gonna fight someone tough, get paid to fight someone tough.
I don't blame you. You got any advice for like amateur fighters or just pro fighters?
Amateur fighters, enjoy every second of what you do. It is a tough sport. It's tough training. It's tough in the cage. Everything about it's tough. Find a way to enjoy it. You're doing something. I mean, 0.0000001% of the people in the history of the world will ever get to do. You're competing for people in a cage in front of everyone. Learn to enjoy it. It is such a rush of adrenaline. It's something that you're doing that most people will never experience. Really try to enjoy it.
No, yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Jake, you have anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I was going to touch on what he was talking about, like the adrenaline. So I fought I train as well, and I took my first super fight this weekend actually, and in a cage. It was just a jiu-jitsu match up in the cage. But I ended up winning it, and that's my first time ever stepping in a cage, or it's my first time ever competing, which was kind of crazy to do it in a cage, not in a regular BJJ format. But it is such a crazy experience, and to step in there and just see everybody looking at you and hanging out and all eyes on you is a cool thing.
Oh, it's just so much fun, and you've done it now. It's something you'll be able to remember the feelings for the rest of your life.
For sure.
Well, we really don't have too much more for you. So you have anywhere you want to shout out your social media or anything like that?
Yeah, hit me up. Let's see, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I love TikTok. Y'all should hit me up there for sure. It's at Smilin' Sam, SMILENSAM. I'm the same on everything, and I love talking to people. Just hit me up, and you'll probably get a response.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming out for sure. Doing a little quick interview for us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem. So you can take off if you want. We're gonna do a little outro thing, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right, we'll talk to you later, my friends.
Right,
sounds good, buddy. See ya.
Bye.
All right, so it's just the two of us now, and so we're just gonna do a little outro thing. Jake, you want to shout out any social media or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't want to shout out mine. I want to shout out Indieland MMA. That is where I train at, and is where D's working at now. So they've opened up so many doors for us and got us so connected with everything. So I want to shout out Indieland MMA. Just go Google them, research them, follow them on Instagram. They're on Facebook. I'm pretty sure they're on Twitter. So hit up all
if they're on Twitter. I don't think they're on Twitter.
You don't think they're on Twitter? Either way, they're on the.
Know.
I know they're on Instagram and I know they're on Facebook. So look them up. I'm pretty sure it's just Indyland MMA, and you'll find them. Give them a follow. Come to class. Yeah.
Yep. If you're in the Charlotte area, it is the perfect place to go and train, go and work out, all those great things. So yeah. So I'm gonna shout out my own social media because I'm selfish like that, and you're not. I don't care. So follow Diaz the Rican on Instagram, on Twitter, and TikTok. Follow me on TikTok too. My TikTok page probably isn't as cool as Smiling Sam's, but you know, it still exists, so you should go follow it. And make sure you follow the Diaz the Rican podcast on Spotify, and we're uploading videos to YouTube now, so you should go follow them too. Or well, it's my name, it's Kyle Diaz, but if you look up Diaz the Rican, you probably will find our profile, or at least the video we already have up. So yeah, so we really don't have anything else for you. Appreciate Sam for coming out. Appreciate you, Jake, for being my new co-host, first episode.
Heck yeah, happy to be here, dude. As
Yes,
always.
Sir. Yes, sir. So we will talk to y'all later.